Hello everyone, and welcome to Watch Dogs 2 once more. I was going to record a Grand Theft Auto 3 episode, but I just figured I would do it in Watch Dogs this time since I've been playing this game a little bit more, trying to beat it, that type of thing. So I've been more into this game now, Grand Theft Auto 3. Don't worry, it's not going to go away. I'll probably do just a normal, screw around thing in Grand Theft Auto 3 at some point. This is what I'm playing right now, so I'm recording this right now. So what I came here to do is quite simple. Ooh, crossing the Golden Gate. Is that I want to share with you my mid-year countdown for albums of the year. Now, some of them may very surprise you, and I'm sure even my number 7 pick will really surprise you. But there are some surprises on this list, and it's all things I genuinely like, not things that I just like because, say, everyone hates it or everyone likes it per se. It's not. It's all things I like because really only number 4 and 3 are popular per se. So let's get right into this number 10 with Big Fish Theory by Vince Staples. It was his second album, and I think it was a really good effort. I got the good chance to see it live on Sunday, which was really cool to see him live. He had a very orange stage because the theme is, goldfish, so it was orange. It was really cool performance, and I thought the album was pretty good for the most part. Good for number 10 at least. Then number 9, it's kind of like a tie with number 10 and 9 because but I put 9 below because I listened to it more. And 9 is Last Young Renegade by All Time Low. Now, this album, I only really like a few songs from it. The rest I think are kind of poppy, but I still bought it. I still listen to it on Spotify and stuff. I like Good Times, I like Nice to Know, and the title track are my favorites. And then the other ones I just kind of so that's Last Young Renegade for you. And then number 8, I have the deluxe edition California, which I thought was just a really good build off of California. I loved the vibe of California. I thought it was a really good album, especially because Blink-182 lost the singer. They kicked him out, so adjusting to a new singer, and then even more of him adjusting into Blink-182. It's really good. Deluxe edition. It has the acoustic version of Bored to Death, which I thought was pretty alright. And I like the Drop in the Ocean, I think it's called. I like that song. That's my favorite one. Now, 7. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. I know I will. Number 7 is One More Light by Linkin Park. Now, I also have a podcast on SoundCloud where I go in a little bit more detail about this whole thing and why I like this album and all that. I really like this album because it shows not really the band maturing, but evolving. Because when you think about it, nu metal has been dead forever, okay? And alternative rock has gone away from mainstream radio. So Linkin Park had to evolve somehow. And you could make the argument, well, the Hunting Party never had Until It's Gone, and that charted. That was one of their heaviest records in years, or blah, blah, blah. And yes, you could make that argument, but you can make that argument all you want, but the thing is, that album wasn't meant to get on the radio at all. It was meant to get guitars and everything in there, get heavier music. And this, they wanted to get on the radio, they wanted Billboard, and the only way to really do that is to, do something poppier. And I like the majority of them songs. I like some of the songs on here. I like Battle Symphony, that probably shines out as my favorite. Talking to Myself, and even though Sorry for Now has the one little part where it has the glitchy chipmunk effect, that is in reminiscence of songs like Young and Menace. I feel it was pretty good for what it was. And I like heavy. Not as much as everything else, and Talking to Myself, especially, that song has really good guitar work in it. So, yeah, that's my number 7. Number 6 is Everybody by Logic. Now, everyone kept saying this is a disappointment, and I didn't find it much of a disappointment. I liked African. I liked Neil deGrasse Tyson's narration and everything. I thought that was a really nice touch. I like Everybody. I like Black Spider-Man. I liked a lot of the music on here, and that's all I really care about. I don't care if it definitely did not surpass The Amazing True Story. That'll still be the best Logic album, but I just like the music, and that's why it's here. That's why everything on this list is here. It doesn't have anything to do with, oh, it didn't surpass the work before it, or it didn't live up to the hype, or whatever. I don't care about that. As long as the music is good, I'm cool with that. And then, so, next thing we have number 5 is How Did We Get So Dark by Royal Blood, which I freaking loved. I just got introduced to Royal Blood just from watching a YouTuber who brought him up and reviewed this album, and I think it's awesome. Tracks like Lights Out really show that this guy can play. It's a duo, and these two guys can really play their instruments. Like, the guy who's on bass sounds like he's on freaking guitar, and it sounds awesome. And the guy on the drums just does superb, even though he kind of has to, because he's 50% of the whole act. So, yeah, Royal Blood was had a pretty entertaining album, and I hope to see more from them. So, yeah. Next I have Evolve by Imagine Dragons at number 4. And I like I said, this one I have a little bit more thoughts with, because I didn't like Smoke and Mirrors at all. I was disappointed in that, especially coming off Night Visions. It wasn't what I wanted it to be. This Evolve project is what I wanted to come after Night Visions. So, I love songs on here, like the lead single, Believer, is really good. And, Thunder, Start Over. My favorite non-single is probably either Start Over or Rise Up. I like those two songs a lot. And I will, there was a statement, ARTV made about Imagine Dragons, how they pretty much I did not know those were red barrels. Make music for pretty much anyone, and yes, while I can agree with that, they make music that tailors to stuff like romantic comedies. Pretty much every movie, like every movie genre. I mean, look at Believer. It looks like it'll be in the next Creed movie. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was. So, yeah, like I said, none of that stuff really matters to me as long as the music's good, and I like this a lot better than Smoke and Mirrors. And next, for number 3, I have Harry Styles' self-titled project, which I loved. It's probably the best One Direction solo project. And if you still haven't given it a listen because you just think it's pop trash, I feel bad for you, because this album is awesome. It kicks so much butt.
911, state your emergency, please.
Yes, police. Quick. Come quick.
So, yeah. It has songs like Sign of the Times. It has songs like Two Ghosts and Ever Since New York. I love almost every song on here. No! So that is what I have to say about that. So next, we have at number 2, After Laughter by Paramore. Paramore is my 10th favorite band of all time. 10th or 9th, I think I would like to say. So, yeah, and Paramore evolved pretty naturally, as I thought they would. Evolve pretty good. They evolved like pure bliss. They evolved the way a band should after losing. It probably has the most lineup changes of any band I think I've ever listened to. Okay, that I've listened to as a recent memory. And after through all those highs and lows, and after the amazing self-titled album, that's my favorite album by Paramore, they evolved to an 80s new wave sound, which I really dig because I've always had a little soft spot for 80s music. I mean, I grew up with the game Grand Theft Auto Vice City, so it had a lot of 80s music, so I've always had a special little place for 80s music. So, yeah, I really like songs like Hard Times, Told You So, and I like No Friend because it reminds me of Future, how it's kind of just really an instrumental, and Future is probably one of my favorite songs off the self-titled album. I love that, just the yeah, I love that, it's so good. So now number 1 is Humans by the Gorillaz, and most people didn't really kept saying it was their worst, but I think it's not their weakest. I don't know what would be the weakest for me. Probably The Fall, if you can count that as an album. I still like The Fall, but you know, it was mostly electronic music. And when I want Gorillaz, I like David Alburn's voice. It's just so great. So, Humans had some great songs like Saturn's Bars, which was the lead single. Ascension. Oh my gosh, Ascension. More good Vince Staples music. Did I just drive across that bridge? I didn't even notice. And then we have songs like I don't really like, but I can still kind of vibe with, like Submission and Sex Murder Party. I think those songs were cool, and even cooler to see live, because I got to see them live a few days ago, and it was just so cool. They're such a good band, so many good musicians. There was even a choir just full of so much good talent to see up there on the stage, and just a lot of just good music. It was so cool to see, even though Saturn's Bars was live and most of it was sung by the screen because PopCam wasn't there. It was still awesome. Songs like Let Me Out, oh my gosh, that song was so good. And Pusha T being there was even cooler. It was just such a cool show, such a good album, and I hope to see this this Blur side project turn into something, go back into the mainstream like it should. So that about does it really for my year-end list. It was kind of a shorter video, but I like to get straight to the point. I don't feel like mumbling much about just random nonsense. So that about does it for me, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.